All right, let's talk about corporate training. I mean, we've all been there, right? The mandatory online module, that day-long seminar you can barely remember a week later. But, there's a new wave of AI technology that's aiming to completely flip that script. Today, we're going to dive into this shift by looking at a platform called NexusAI. Okay, let's get into it.
So, first off, let me ask you something. Think back. Think back to the last required training you had to take for work. How much of it do you actually remember? If you're drawing a blank or thinking, not much, well, you're not alone, not by a long shot. And that right there is the fundamental problem these new AI platforms are built to solve. Because that feeling, that sense that most training is just uninspiring and forgettable, that isn't just a feeling. It's actually a massive measurable drain on businesses. And when you look at the numbers behind all that frustration, they're pretty staggering.
So let's start with engagement. A whopping 78%. Think about that for a second. 78% of employees feel totally disconnected from their company's training platforms. That means more than 3 out of every 4 people are just clicking through, going through the motions instead of really, truly learning anything.
And then you've got the whole administrative side of things. A huge 69% of training management is still completely bogged down in tedious manual tracking. Just imagine all those countless hours that HR and learning teams are spending wrestling with spreadsheets instead of, actually creating better ways for people to learn.
And this might be the biggest kick of them all. The gap between what you learn and what you actually do. A massive 81% of what's taught in training just evaporates. It's never actually applied on the job. So what's the big takeaway here? The old model, it's just plain broken.
Okay, so how do you fix something that's so fundamentally broken? Well, the solution from platforms like NexusAI is something called an AI-native approach. And this is really important. This isn't just about slapping a few new features onto an old system. This is about rethinking everything right from the very beginning.
So what does AI native really mean? Well, it means AI isn't an afterthought. It's the foundation. The whole system is built around artificial intelligence. It's the engine that powers every single part of the learning journey, from the way a course is first created to how it adapts to you personally.
And this is where you can really see the difference. On the left, you've got the old way. You take an existing platform and you kind of just bolt on a few AI features. But on the right, with the AI native model, the AI is the actual core. It's the engine. And that allows for a much deeper integration and creates a learning experience that's way more dynamic and powerful. Okay, so that's the big idea. It sounds great, right? But how does it actually work? What are the specific tools that really make a platform like this come to life?
Right, let's take a quick look under the hood. You've got these incredible tools. AI PPT can take a simple document and whip up a full presentation in minutes. AI video can generate digital instructors. AI assessment automatically creates quizzes. But it goes even further, with a 24/7 AI mentor for help anytime, and an AI recommendations engine that builds a totally unique learning path for every single person. It's a whole ecosystem built to automate and just elevate the entire process.
But look, all this cool tech isn't just tech for tech's sake. The whole point is to create this ripple effect of value that spreads through an entire company. Let's take a look at how a single platform like this is designed to help everyone, from the newest person on the team right up to the CEO. Everything really starts with the learner. For them, that old, boring, one-size-fits-all training is just gone. Instead, they get a path that's personalized just for them, that adapts to their pace. They have an AI mentor they can ask anything, anytime. And you get this gamified experience that actually makes learning fun. It feels more like you're leveling up, not just checking a box. Okay, now let's flip the coin. What about the people who create all this stuff? For the learning and development pros, this is a total game changer. They can use AI to generate content and manage knowledge, which frees them up from all that tedious manual work. And that lets them shift their focus from just delivering courses to designing high-impact strategies that really move the needle for the business. And that strategic work feeds right back to the managers. Suddenly, they have this live analytics dashboard where they can see exactly where their teams are crushing it and where they might need a little more support. Automated reports give them clear, actionable insights without them having to spend weeks chasing down spreadsheets. And this is where it all comes together for the leadership. When you roll up all that data from individuals, from teams, from the content itself, leaders get something that most have only dreamed of, a real-time strategic view of their entire organization's capabilities. We're talking talent analytics and clear metrics on the return on investment they're getting from their people.
So, yeah, the theory is really compelling, but does this actually work out there in the real world? Let's dig into some real-world results and what this all means for the future.
And look, this isn't some tiny startup experiment. This AI-native approach is already operating at a massive scale. We are talking about over 30 million global users. It's in thousands of companies, including more than 200 that are publicly listed. The point is, this isn't coming soon. It's already here, and it's working. And you don't have to take my word for it. This quote from a client really says it all. Alvin Lau Chikin, an L&D director, talks about how they used it to create unified training standards across 7 different global markets, and how that led to significant improvements in their team's skills and efficiency. That's the kind of concrete, bottom-line result that businesses are looking for.
So all of this brings us back to one big question. We've seen how this new wave of AI can tackle corporate training's biggest challenges: engagement, efficiency, and actually applying what you learn. You know, it really points to a future where learning isn't a chore, not something you have to do, but something that's just a continuous, personalized part of our professional lives. So, is this the future of how we all grow at work? It sure is starting to look that way.